Hold on. We're going. It works.
Oh, and we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gem into Crypto, episode 637. Today is Monday, January 11th, and I'm King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay, and we are here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community Monday through Friday at 10ish.
At 10ish. And today is definitely one of those 10ish days as we're having some technical difficulties this morning. But today's top story is Morgan Stanley now holds 10% stake in Michael Saylor's Microstrategy Bitcoin exchange back to become publicly traded at $2.1 billion valuation via a merger. State-owned Chinese bank rolls out ATMs for digital yuan. Daniel Larimore, CTO of EOS CTO developers, Block One resigns, and bar owner wants to sell 2 New York City watering holes for $1 million in Bitcoin. But first and foremost, sad face, what's going on with these prices today?
So a lot of people who bought the top may be crying today, but one of the things we always encourage is dollar cost averaging, buying over time, not worrying about the price. But the prices today, Bitcoin is sitting at $33,584, down 14% right now. Oh man, and Ethereum took a huge dump down to $1,000.35, down almost 20% today. XRP at 27 cents, down 14.8%. Stellar at 24
Screen
cents.
share that for me so I can show everyone.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that didn't work out for everybody with that Ripple pump. Chainlink at $14 is down 16%. Litecoin at $133 is down 22%. And last but not least, EOS at $261 is down 17%. So we have seen a dip. And if you look at the last bull market, we had, it was almost perfect pattern, 29%, 30%, 33%, 32% dips along the way, all the way from 6,000 all the way up to 20,000. And this time is pretty much going to be no different. If this is our first big dip at 32, just imagine if we have these same dips, how much further we have to go. So for those of you who are panicking this morning, please don't. It's not a big deal. It's just a small dip, 15, 17%. Man, welcome to crypto. In the words of Will Ferrell, what's the candidate? Welcome to the fucking show. This is what Bitcoin is. This is what crypto has been. And if you panic because you bought it 2 weeks ago and now the prices dropped down, you don't need to be in this. Honestly, you just need to go ahead and just read a little more or get into some stocks with low volatility. But this is what crypto is made for. But volatility is the price you have to pay for an emerging asset. So don't panic. Just hold. Just keep on holding.
And go ahead and add that screen sharing feature for me, Zay. But one of the things I was telling people this weekend, because the calls were incoming, it was crazy. I literally couldn't talk to anyone and have a normal conversation without crypto coming up first with it. Mm-hmm. And my thing with everyone, I was trying to be super polite, but I'm like, hey guys, been trying to tell you about this for years. When this thing was $3,000 last year, I tried to tell you, and again, the market psychology. And I bring that up because I had all these people hit me up. I'm bringing up this price chart as I say this. I had all these people hitting me up when the price is literally at like 39 to 42,000, teetering and bouncing. And immediately what I told everyone, we got a few good news calls from people like, hey, remember that crypto I bought a few years ago? I didn't look at it. I got $80,000. Like literally I got these calls this week. I got $20,000 over here. I got $15,000 here. I got that call from so many people. And I immediately told all of them this weekend, I said, sell. I said, sell, sell, sell. Right now, I said, you didn't even know you had it. You didn't even know you had the money. You have it. The price is at 42,000. We've never seen it. Sell, sell, sell. So those people, if they're listening, I hope you sold because I'm looking like a genius again on this one. Yeah. But it's something we talked about plenty of times before. Like this, if you've been watching our show, this shouldn't scare you. This shouldn't shock you because as we said, as the dollar value increases, that dollar value for it to sway, that percentage swing decreases. So instead of having a 5% swing at $10,000 and it being $500 or whatever it is, a 5 to 10% swing, or as we're seeing today, a 15% swing could be $8,000, people. As that number increases, those will be the percentage swings in a dollar equivalent. So as Bitcoin Zay said, we're going to see this dip, retracement and then pump over and over again. Once it gets to 50 or 60K, 70K, imagine when it gets to 100K, people, when we're sitting at $100,000 Bitcoin and we continue to have the same 15 to 20% swings, that means one day we'll be looking at $100,000 and the next day we'll be looking at $85,000, right? That is going to happen. So you need to wrap your head around that now, because while this dipped This dip was also weak hands. This just wasn't a normal dip. This was weak hands written all over it.
Yeah. Over leveraged traders.
Oh yeah. The normal dip stopped at about 37, 38, 30, you know, that's when it stopped. When it kept doing that nosedive, that's when the weak hands came. It was like, oh my God, I just put in 100,000. I can't afford to lose another 10 right now. So again, I just want to remind everyone that stop looking at the dollar value itself. Start looking at those percentage swings, because that's what's causing that dollar value to go up and down so high. It's just the fact that Bitcoin's worth so much right now. But as Bitcoins, they said, this is another normal day of trading. Like down 15, tomorrow will be up 10 for some. The next day will be down 18. Like this is normal.
Yeah, and also I want to encourage people, if you were talking about waiting for a dip, this is it.
That was my next point. I don't want to hear.
Don't think this is going to go on forever. Because it's going up,
a little too high.
Exactly. I know when people are talking about, you know, it's going to go up forever, that's too much euphoria. Then when it dips, people are calling for 10K. So that's just what it is. But if you are looking for a dip, this is the time. If you refuse to buy at 40K because you thought it was too much, you still need to realize that Bitcoin is the best asset out there, and this price is actually cheap long term.
Right, there you go. What's going on, Paul, Rashu, D. Chiron, Yimmy Yo, P-Man Van, Clarence Dennison, Dexter Hans Sr., Lisa Lee, CryptoQ, P-Man Van, let's see, Brown Bujita, Tahir, Bruce Biggs, Jamal J, Malik Howard, Alex G said had to go to Best Buy for the first time in a while, and there was a group of employees congregating talking about crypto. Listen, the crypto experts are back, people. I have been hearing so many people direct people to Coinbase and Robinhood to buy their Bitcoin. I even had someone try to tell me the other day how PayPal is a place to get Bitcoin and how I don't know what I'm talking about in regards to buying Bitcoin. I mean, I literally
whenever somebody brings it up, I just let them talk about it. I've even said, what's that? And then let somebody explain it just to hear the talk. And the first things you hear, like you just said, Coinbase, Robinhood. And I'm just like, we got a long way to go, man.
And that's why I said banks are going to win. I hate to say it. Institutions, Wall Street, they are going to win because we're in 2021. This thing is still brand new. There's still endless amount of resources out there, and people are still saying Coinbase, Robinhood, like they're going to win. And not only that, this is another reason why they're going to win.
Robinhood, please.
Not only from that great promotional marketing of Robinhood, Coinbase, and whoever else being the main places to buy right now. Another reason they're going to win is because we still have people, and I hate to say this, and you know we're here for everyone, but people, for simple questions, the reason why we do a live stream is so you can come on live and ask us these simple questions. Because I guarantee you, to the gentleman who sent it, no offense, we would not answer an email about how to buy $500 worth of Bitcoin in 2021. Like, we can't do that right now.
Yeah.
So
not with Google available, baby.
Right. So we're still getting emails from people like, hey, how to buy $100 worth of Bitcoin, how to buy $50 worth of Bitcoin. It's just like, people literally using digital money on the internet with technology, don't want to pull up a window right next to it and Google it at the same time or YouTube it. So when all that's happening, like, yes, Coinbase is going to win out. Banks are going to win out. Yeah. I had a conversation with people this weekend. They're like, they don't want to control their own wallets. I'm trying to explain to them, this is how we're going back to the old system. Well, and that's what they said. They said they're scared to control their own wallet. So is the banks are going to win, people. It is what it is. Get your own Bitcoin.
They'll have a bigger market share, but this is what I think.
Right, they'll have a bigger market share. That's the big.
But also, I want to remind people that if you are new, again, if this is the first time you're hearing this, because this is a lot of people's first time, Coinbase, get off of there as quickly as possible. Robinhood, you do not own Bitcoin. You have a Bitcoin IOU. PayPal, if you buy on there, that's a Bitcoin IOU. So you want to buy your Bitcoin from exchanges like either Uphold, if you want to use a centralized exchange, Uphold, Gemini is available, local Bitcoins if you want to do peer-to-peer transactions. And within the app, the two easiest ones I've seen are Cash App and then also Edge Wallet. You can purchase both within the app instantly. It's a wallet built into it. And then if you want the lowest fees, swanbitcoin.com. So those are a few places to buy it, and you can dollar cost average there for people who are new, because I know we got a lot of people, coming into the market. I think we might have our first round of holders, because it's a running joke in our market that if you buy the top, as soon as that first big dip happens, now all of a sudden we have all these people that have to hold so they don't sell at a loss. So welcome to our new holders, but you need to have this information, because if you're buying on those platforms, you do not own Bitcoin.
Yeah. Blockchain. Yeah, that's a good wallet as well. And shout out to D-Link. Myths Grooves by Chucky, Will Winstead. And for those who are new, wondering, because again, I get a question all the time on Bitcoin, say, why not Coinbase? Why not all these people? The reason why is because, A, they will stop your trading. They will halt your trading on you. And when companies start doing that, they are basically showing you not only do you not own your crypto, they are not afraid to just take it. And when that happens, I think that actually needs to happen again. I hate to say it. I know there was shakeout weekends. I know it will drop the price. But I think it will also be an educational thing that people, since they don't want to go pay for it or do it for free on their own, they need to pay the price of the commission.
Mount Gox.
I think we need another Mount Gox for people to understand. I want PayPal or somebody to do it too. I want somebody reputable to do it and not be sued or attacked by the government. So everyone can finally see is like, stop it. Like, just control your own crypto. Stop looking for the easy way out.
Yeah, take it off. Definitely take it off these exchanges.
Yeah. All right. Top story of the day. Another reason why, again, I will change that narrative instead of running it or owning it. Why the mainstream banks and institutions will definitely, as Bitcoin's they just said, have a large market share on the crypto industry, and that's because things like this. Morgan Stanley now holds 10% stake in Michael Saylor's Microstrategy. Way to buy Bitcoin without buying Bitcoin. What's going on?
How you doing, Morgan Stanley?
What's going on with this Morgan Stanley institutional story here?
Oh, man. So Morgan Stanley filed an SEC form on December 31st, disclosing that it has upped its stake in Saylor's company by 455%, meaning that they now own 10.9% of Microstrategy. If you don't know Microstrategy, their CEO, Michael Saylor, came out as one of the biggest advocates of Bitcoin last year, investing well over $1 billion in Bitcoin and actually earning about $2.7 billion. I think you can actually look that up on bitcointreasuries.org or .net. Bitcoin treasuries, they're the highest amount of of a publicly traded company. They have the highest amount of Bitcoin in their treasury. And Morgan Stanley pulled a fast one. They can't buy Bitcoin directly, but they can invest in companies that do. And that's what these big companies are starting to do. Any company that wants to, have Bitcoin in their public treasury or for their savings, they're going to invest in these companies. MicroStrategy says here, they following the acceleration of Bitcoin's price, the company had converted over $1 billion in Bitcoin, and as well as their stock has gone up over 400% since the announcement. So every company is about to do this. I think Morgan Stanley's trying to be early, and shout out to MicroStrategy again.
Yeah, blockchain stimulus package is back this time for companies. Like you said, two things I think every company's going to do it, like you said, as they mentioned, the Bitcoin standard. Everybody's going to need to have it, especially talking about financial companies, capital companies, anything like that, wealth management, right? But on another side of the house, I think this may be the future move for corporate companies in general, looking to make their escape, looking to make their exit, looking to sell or whatever. We already saw it on a smaller platform. Again, when we saw companies renaming themselves blockchain, blockchain Long Island Iced Tea, shoots up the stock price. And XYZ, it wasn't just them, they were the notorious ones at the SEC. Y'all gotta stop. It's nonsense. But by and large, we saw a lot of companies saying, hey, we sell light switches, now we're light switches blockchain company. And then on the stock market the next morning, it'll just shoot up. I think this is the next thing. Not only necessarily buying Bitcoin, but publicizing or pushing that narrative for companies to be bought, with that being some of the reason of their value. Because when you say they bought a 10% stake into it, I wonder how much of Bitcoin was factored in. Did they factor in the 100% cost of Bitcoin at the price today and right now? Do they factor in the potential cost of it, or they just have a set spot price of where they bought it at, right? There's so many different factors that can go into that. But I do believe this may be the way companies can now elevate themselves and sell themselves. Say, hey, we have some part of our business in the crypto business. We're already in there, worth a lot more. This time they sold 10%. But what if Morgan Stanley came with the big bag and they was like, we ready to buy the whole company off the bat? And I say that because if you're a small business right now, you're a small business, right? You're let's go back to Bitcoin's A's book, Bitcoin Black America. You have a law firm, a doctor's office, coffee shop, whatever, and you start building your stuff up the same way. There may be a bigger business in the same industry. You say you're in coffee. There may be Starbucks come around and say, we like the way you're doing it. Just sell us everything off the top. Let me just buy your business, give us the books, and we'll push it. Because that's what businesses actually do. They're not coming in trying to figure out a recipe. They're just like, yo, just sell us your business and like move out the way.
Yeah, please.
So that might be the future of businesses being sold. It's like, all right, well, what type of crypto stakes do you have?
Absolutely. Yeah, and we're gonna see this, I think, across the board. If you are a company, if you have a publicly traded company and you put your Bitcoin treasury or you make your treasury purely Bitcoin, or mostly, companies are gonna come through snatching them up. So shout out to everybody doing that. Microstrategy's at the top, but I'm sure more are coming.
All right. And great point, Antonio. Antonio, not even from the States, he hitting this on the head. Morgan Stanley paid for nothing, the taxpayers and the Fed did. Great point, because when you're talking about companies at that level, institutions, financial institutions buying stakes in other financial institutions, like they showed in 2008, they got the gameplay. Like they're not paying for nothing. You are very, very right. It's probably going to be taxpayers and the federal government paying for this move. Oh, good gracious. Too big to fail, people. I'm telling you, that's where you got to go. But with all that, this is a great set.
Oh, man. They took the STEMI and bought a business.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I'm just thinking about it. Yeah, they really just took the pandemic relief. It was like, hey, we'll take 10% of yours. Like, oh, okay, we're in business. Great call out, Antonio. Hey, that's why we got Antonio as an in-house moderator right there. With that, a great segue into, again, businesses in crypto will be worth something. Bakkt exchange or Bitcoin exchange Bakkt to become publicly traded at $2.1 billion valuation via merger. Let's not forget the CEO of Bakkt, Loeffler, who was the Georgia Senate, of course, has just recently been replaced, but a lot of action going on with Bakkt right now. What's up with this story?
Oh, yeah. So Bitcoin exchange Bakkt has inked a business combination deal that will result in the Intercontinental Exchange subsidiary becoming a publicly traded company. Right now, the New York Stock Exchange has given it an expected valuation of $2.1 billion, and it says that Bakkt investors' equity will roll into the combined company, with the Intercontinental Exchange contributing an additional $50 million in this announcement. So if you don't know about Bakkt, they came into the news about 2017 when they first started discussing having a Bitcoin ETF. Also, they created a platform where you could purchase things such as Starbucks with Bitcoin through Bakkt. So these are the types of things that we're saying. If you have a company and Bitcoin is involved with it, you're going to have huge valuations with the New York Stock Exchange, as well as investors trying to buy your company. So this gives big businesses incentive to include Bitcoin or blockchain technology into their company. So this is huge news. Finally, Bakkt had some movement, because remember, how long was it? I mean, we waited a long time for Bakkt's announcement. Then when it came out, they couldn't even do it. So glad they got some traction this time.
So that was my point when it came to that story. I was waiting for you to finish. Bakkt's not worth $2.1 billion, people.
Not at all. Not even
plain and simple.
Not 2.1.
Sorry, Bakkt. I don't mean, hey, pay me if you want me to shut up. All right. I don't mean to be the guy who do this to you. Don't worry about it. We're small fries. Nobody on Wall Street's watching us anyway. All right. But Bakkt is not worth $2.1 billion. I'm glad you hit on that when you were like, they were trying to do something. We don't know if they actually did it. Let's talk about how they got listed on, like how they're about to get listed, people. As I just mentioned, their CEO was a Georgia senator, right? Like, this isn't rocket science, people. You shake a few hands, you get into some new positions. There's no reason why you're about to have a $2.1 billion valuation or anywhere near a multi-billion-dollar valuation for a company, your first time in your life, and you're going to work at a public office. It doesn't make sense, people, unless you have another reason to go. So with all that being said, I want to make that point because I'm to my when I'm looking at the way I'm assuming this, and of course it could be false, whatever, but the way I look at it as an investor is that more or less likely Bakkt isn't worth $2.1 billion. You got on that exchange because of some government deals for some things you did. And that's another reason why you're getting this pump. Also because the people on Wall Street don't know enough about crypto to actually qualify as worth. Now, you start talking about the Coinbases of the world. We talked about them. I do think they're worth 12 to $14 billion plus, possibly, depending on how crazy an IPO can go. But Bakkt, like, what did they do? Like, what have they done? What product is out there that's being used right now is not worth $2.1 billion?
Yeah, backed by nothing. That's what it is.
We will end it on that. You're hilarious. State-owned Chinese bank rolls out ATMs for digital yuan. Listen to that. These governments like, y'all gonna take this crypto. Everything we do with crypto, y'all gonna take it. Looks like the Agricultural Bank of China has launched an ATM pilot program that enables citizens to convert cash and savings to and from the digital yuan. Now, I'll be honest, I have no clue what the Agricultural Bank of China does, but just because it has the name agriculture, or excuse me, the word agricultural in it, I just feel like they shouldn't have anything to do with Bitcoin ATMs. That's just me off the top of my head right now. And then I remember Bitcoin Zay pointing out this photo before we started the show. The picture says 1,000 words. This guy is looking like, why am I about to use a bank Bitcoin machine, right? A bank crypto ATM. What's going on with with these state-owned Chinese bank ATMs?
Oh yeah, so China basically said, you're gonna take this digital yuan, you don't have a choice. And they implemented these ATMs for your service, where customers at select branches can begin spending and converting the digital yuan as part of China's red envelope lottery. Of course, when it's a state-backed lottery, you're the sucker. So I'll just leave that there. Which saw 3 million worth of a new currency gifted to 100,000.
Airdrop, we getting airdrops, baby.
Yeah, they dropped $3 million. That's a drop in they can print money, so that doesn't mean anything. But the ATMs allow the deposit and withdrawal of digital yuan via smartphone app. So what they're allowing you to do is to give them your paper money so they can give you a digital representation, so they can hoard all of the cash and eventually most of the assets and take it from you, so that you will have a purely digital life. That's what they're presenting to you, and China's not going to be the only country that does this. I think the USA is moving that way. Russia is probably going to move that way. Digital ruble. Any country that is trying to have a smart cities or a digital currency plan where central bank digital currencies are the basis for that, you're going to have these ATMs pop up. I mean, ATMs are not going to be walk up, get out cash anymore. After a while, it's going to be one way. You put in cash, you get digital currency, that's it. They're not going to be giving you cash. And if you think I'm lying, coronavirus just sped it up. US Mint don't even have coins. They don't print dollars.
They still don't have coins.
Yeah, they still don't have coins. When the Fed prints money, they're not actually printing dollars. They have to for a certain amount, but most of it is literally pushing buttons. So this is what's happening in China. Digital yuan, you're going to take this. So China's Big Debo, and in America, at least we have false hope. At least they give us a little fake hope. They don't give them any hope in China. It's like, you're going to take this or else. So, hey, that's the standard in China now.
Hey, America got that false hope because people still rush Capitol steps in 2021, baby.
Yeah, exactly. We still rushing the steps, baby.
No, so it's interesting you brought that point up. Again, one thing I said, and it's crazy, I said this with 2017, so 4 years ago now, but I remember in 2017, I was telling people that, hey, the United States has already began getting away from cash. I remember, and I think the year 2014 or 2015, the statistics were that only 24% of the American population were using cash. And that was in 2015. Let's say 2015, they said only 24% of the American population was using cash. So like literally years later, I mean, I would put that number down less than 10%, because again, in LA, you can't even use cash at half the places anymore. They will look at you crazy. Like, we are not taking that dirty Rona field money. Now, with all that being said, I saw some great points the other day, and I kind of came to the conclusion, along with some other people making this point, the U.S. may be trying to actually dump the dollar, which is why they keep printing. They're doing all the printing of money. They're doing the stimulus packages. The stimulus and the pandemic relief packages may not be just to save the citizens. As we always say, the governments are never here to protect the citizens. They may actually be trying to dump as many cash fiat dollars as possible so people can actually start buying more digital. This is their upfront little this is a cryptocurrency stimulus package is what this is. They're giving us money to go over to the crypto side and the digital side, because as Bitcoin, they said, we're seeing it in China. People, there's not going to be like a month warning. They're going to give you like 2 weeks, and then the next morning you're going to wake up again on Thursday morning, on a Monday morning, they're going to be like, hey, what you were doing, don't do it no more. This is how we doing the process moving forward. And they don't expect you to figure it out or die. I mean, that's really going to be it.
Yeah, and it's funny because they're trying to pacify people with $2,000. Oh, the people need $2,000. Oh, it shouldn't be $600. If you print more money, it doesn't matter what they give you. It's worth less as soon as you get it. So they're literally debasing the dollar on purpose. How else can you start a civil war? You debase the dollar, products become they cost too much for regular people to buy it. People are in the streets. People start shooting at each other. That's how you get a civil war. Nobody's paying attention to the politicians that actually made this happen. There is another choice. That's why Bitcoin in Black America exists. That's why Bitcoin period exists. But like we're telling you, China, every time something comes out of China, it's just a precursor for what's coming around the world.
And it's one of those things too. If you need any, and this is what I keep telling people, when there's like the price is big and price, I'm like, if you need any obvious more example about what we've been saying about what the entire cryptocurrency and Bitcoin community has been saying, one Bitcoin still equals one Bitcoin, people. It's the United States dollar that keeps going from $5,000 Bitcoin to 40,000 tomorrow. Like that's the dollar. And literally we just had 12 months where we're looking at almost $2-something trillion being printed.
Yeah,
that is the price. That is where the price of Bitcoin is. So it's one of those things where I was like, this is a scary time when you talk about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And yeah, you might see it being $42,000 one day and $33,000 the next day. And again, that is because the United States government is manipulating it by using the Fed, using the fiat currency. Because again, nothing has really changed with Bitcoin technology in the last couple of years for it all of a sudden to shoot to 42,000. Only thing that's been different is that the printing of money to businesses, individuals who have never had money before have now have it. So again, we're seeing that being reflected in the price. U-turn, but definitely an interesting story. Daniel Larimore, CTO of EOS CTO developers, Block One resigns. Wow, this is a story. We saw this. We gotta get Crypto Blood on the show to talk more about this. I know he is a big backer of EOS. He actually, I believe, is in charge of the EOS Detroit group. I talked to him about that when I was there. They're starting up different city groups. He'll be taking on Detroit. So definitely had to talk to Crypto Blood about this, figure out what's going on. But it looks like in a short blog post on EOS social media platform Voice, Larimore hinted at future social media development. But it's looking like at this time he officially resigned from EOS. What's going on with that? Why would he do that? I thought this is the guy, and EOS was the project to carry us over into the next wave of cryptocurrency 2.0.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest. It looks like there may be trouble in the waters because Daniel Larimore, like you just said, didn't think he would ever leave as CTO of EOS. They had this whole big production and rollout for EOS when it first started, raised over $1 billion. But he has stepped down. He has stated that I have come to believe that you cannot provide liberty as a service, and therefore I will focus my attention on creating tools that people can use to secure their own freedom. And he sent a sort of cryptic message where he said, it's time to abandon Twitter. If you want to follow me, join voice.com and subscribe to my mailing list, of course. Meanwhile, this may be your last chance to download certain apps from Apple, which, if you saw what happened with Parler, you got Parler kicked off the Apple Store. Trump is gone off the internet, like completely. You have people who are being silenced on Twitter. Daniel Larimore may see that and may think, hey, I want to move away from EOS ecosystem and start my own ways for liberty, because that's sort of been his preaching, is liberty. So we'll see. I don't think it will affect EOS completely. However, it doesn't look too good. And we need to bring on Crypto Blood to talk more what he thinks.
Yeah.
Because I haven't followed the project enough to know how big his stake is, but I do know him leaving can't be, the best thing for EOS.
Right. So I'm with you on that. Before I just start throwing wild shots in every direction, I agree. We do need to have Crypto Blood come on and have that discussion with him, since he knows the inside. I'm sure some of our warriors know as well. However, got to point out the obvious. And again, I'll go as far to call him a genius, right? Daniel Larimore, probably mispronouncing that. He's been in the crypto space for a while. I'll throw it out there. He's a genius, right? Great developer, knows what he's doing. But let's also shine the spotlight on Dan, right? CTO, you're in the C-suite. You make decisions with everyone else. Now, I will be fair, and I've been on record by saying this many times before, that oftentimes the best developers do not make the best business people. So I won't say the fault of EOS is his or of his other projects, because I'm not sure what position he was in every project. I do know for some of his previous projects, as it says in the article, he was the founder of early crypto exchange BitShares and blockchain-based social media platform Steam. And the reason why I'm bringing this up, if you've been around crypto for a while, you're talking about
rebrand.
Listen, you already know where I'm about to go with it. Listen,
Oh,
hey, he wanted to put himself in the spotlight. You are in the spotlight. We have to talk about this. You were in BitShares. That was a top 10 coin at one point, I believe, at least top 15. You were in Steam. Steam definitely was a top 10 coin. And then you came over to EOS. That is 3 different projects in the last 3 to 5 years. In crypto, you really, and this isn't the only person to do it. Believe me, I know many people. This guy's gonna know who I'm talking about. I know one guy, he jumped over to cryptocurrency from the professional world, mid to late 40s, literally jumped on like 6 different projects at once. At the time, this was like 2016. I'm like, how are you doing 6 crypto projects? That's not possible, right? So the same thing with Dan. We are seeing how long it takes for things to progress, not only from a technological point of view, but also just things in the crypto industry, right? One project is about to take up 2 to 3 to 4 years of your life if you're doing it the right way. And that's still a baby, because 2 to 4 years for a crypto project is the same age as it is in real life. It isn't 2 to 4 years in the crypto world. It's 8 years. It's like, no, it's only 3 years old. Just like Bitcoin is only 12 years old right now, people. And I say that because if you have a project, if you have multiple projects that are all under, you just have 3 babies, basically. He's had 3 different babies, and he's trying to convince us all that he's taking care of them all the same way. You ain't taking care of all them babies. And I know you ain't heard from the baby mama, all right? Like, so my thing is, when it comes to Dan, I don't know if this guy is just building, getting his money, leaving, if they're exit scams, or if he actually is committed to each project. And as he goes through the project, he starts to see the holes, and he's like, all right, this is about to be a sinking ship. I don't have control. I'm gone. I don't know what it is, but the one consistent thing I'm seeing is him being at these projects as a developer. And each one of those projects, not speaking of EOS, since technically it's not dead yet, but the other 2 are definitely dead. I mean, dead. They had a good run. Don't get me wrong. Steam had a beautiful run. We thought that would be the new social media platform of the future. Dead. This year, great run. Dead.
He's had a before. I can
buy and trade. So I'm not saying they're like dead in the water. You can still buy and trade a few of them, but by and large, they're not. No one's talking about them, and they used to be talked about the same way EOS is being talked about right now. And again, there's only one consistent thing across.
All I'm saying is, my man Dan, you looking like you're a click hopper right now. You're like you just hopping from click to click, trying to see who's popping right now.
You don't play that around these parts, all right?
Around these parts, man. You better stick with what you supposedly love and go from there. So
right. So yeah, I had to point that out. I know it's funny you caught it the same way. It's just like, come on, man, 3 different projects. Like,
and for new people who are watching, there's a lot of people who are rebranding in 2020.
It's happening.
We saw them in 2014, 2013. Saw them in 2015, 20. They're always trying to pitch something new. They're gonna rebrand to the new people. Seem like they're bringing value, and it's not gonna be what you think.
And then we keep all the receipts. People still don't understand.
So all these people, trust me.
we got some receipts. I can tell you who hasn't rebranded. The Gym in the Crypto, episode 637 right now. You're watching live. Make sure you check us out Monday through Friday at 10ish. That's gonna be like the new commercial right there.
Oh yeah, that's like.
Let's see here. Ryan James said Google Cloud controversy, perhaps. Paul said EOS has always been trash. Ooh, shots fired, people. What's going on, Marcellus? Love, top of the shelf to you. Quarter Crawler, morning. PFC Wells said, I keep saying it, the Blue Dogs are here and the currency wars are coming. Let's see. Alec G said, I'm surprised that people getting banned are on Mastodon, a decentralized Twitter. All these false promises from fake leaders. This is a 3rd project Dan has started and left, Antonio said. That's what I'm saying. Like, it becomes a point. Like, EOS is a multi-billion-dollar project now, right? BitShares are smaller, bootstrap. Steam had a community. Again, when he left down, when everybody was like, oh, what's going on? But EOS is your 3rd major project you have left in the glory years of crypto right now. We're talking, he's been in 2 pumps and he's left 3 projects. I don't know.
Probably could just made more money just buying Bitcoin and waiting. Didn't even have to do all this, but whatever.
Right. Miss Grooves by Chucky said, I need to be on all those social media platforms so I know what Billy Bob is planning. Alexander Barry said, I can't wait to invest all my money to Dan's next scam. Sarcasm. Listen, to be clear, I am not going to call him a scam artist yet because he is a developer. So it might be for him. He might be like, look, man, people keep paying me to make projects. I'm making them, then they want to put my name in the paper, then I'm associated with it. I don't know his story. But I am saying he needs to figure out his story and narrative before we do it for him. Yeah, because if I see him on one more project, I'm gonna figure out his story and narrative for him.
Yeah, camera.
Right. All right. Last but not least, for sure, great news story. Bar owner wants to sell 2 New York City watering holes for $1 million in Bitcoin. And people, before you just start thinking this is some dive bar, no. New York is in the house, people. We talking about New York bars and clubs and some of the highest real estate type of places. I don't know what word sentence I'm trying to form. You know what I mean? The real estate in the area is high. The bars are worth a lot. And he's saying, I got you. What's going on here?
I just want to start by saying good luck to Patrick Hughes, because at this price, I seriously doubt somebody's going to let go 25 Bitcoins for a, let's say, dive bar.
A COVID bar that no one can enter.
Exactly. A COVID bar nobody can enter. However, if you are thinking on a long time scale and you do have 25 Bitcoins laying around, it doesn't seem like much to you. You can, or 800 Ethereum tokens, you can actually get these two places of business. And then when business picks back up, hey, you got 2 bars. And he says he's been in the Manhattan bar business since 1970. And when they ask him about crypto, of course, he speaks like a newbie. Crypto is on fire. It's a hot currency. It's decentralized. It's global. Just throwing out word salad.
Buzzword.
Yeah, stuff you probably heard on YouTube. That's whatever. But one of the things we're seeing, are people who are, again, using the Bitcoin and blockchain stimulus package. If you just mention it alongside your business or that you're selling for, that you're going to use it in the future, you don't even have to have plans for it. You're going to get press. And this is in the New York Post, people. Even though I doubt seriously he's going to sell this for Bitcoin or Ethereum, he actually has a sign here, bars for sale, both bars, and you have to buy both bars. So if you're interested in owning a bar, I actually want to own a bar, a little dive bar one day. I always wanted to be a bartender with the towel over his shoulder.
I'm the same way. Be a wealthy bartender. Don't nobody know your business.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody know your business. Pouring those drinks, having talks with interesting people. I always wanted that, little small bar, but not for 25 Bitcoins, my brother. I would gladly give you fiat cash for this, but not for 25 Bitcoins. This is not happening.
Oh, we got a live one here, folks. Hold on. Let's not discount this dude. While you were talking, I was doing the math. I was thinking about, I was reading a story. Now, if you read this story, people, it's pandemic. He's in Manhattan and Hell's Kitchen. Again, prime. That's the word I was looking for. Prime real estate. If you don't know Hell's Kitchen in Manhattan, it's a lot of good bars, clubs. Is by say real, right? The thing is, consider real estate market is going to fall in the next couple of years, right? It should already happen. We've been kicking this can down the road, but eventually it's going to falter flat on its face. So is it worth $1 million? Well, looking at the pandemic and that no one's coming to this restaurant, I say you make the deal, but not the same amount. Offer them 15 Bitcoin. I think you can give them 15, because if you can give them 10 to 15 Bitcoin, and you can literally, lay it out to them like, hey, it's only $33,000 a day. You was going to go back to 42 since we already seen it. And we know we're going to hit 50 after that. You can start making those arguments for him and help him see the future that his Bitcoin's worth more in the next year or two than where you're selling it to him now. You might be able to get both of those bars for 10.
Hey, I would sell them on the S2F stock to flow model. I would say, hey, based on the stock to flow model, every time a halving is approaching, the price is going to go up over the next 18 months. So I could argue that you should cut that in half, or even more, because if I give you 10 Bitcoins, you're almost guaranteed $1 million off of it in the next 2 years. So I'm only giving you 10 Bitcoins, take it or leave it. I'll wait till nobody buys it for 6 months, right. And I might jump in with 10 Bitcoins, because 2 bars in Manhattan. I mean, of course, you don't want to look back and be like, man, I gave away $10 million worth of Bitcoin to a dude. But if you got 2 bars cash earning when the market picks back up, because after Corona, everybody's going to be outside. People going to be like, hey, I'm not staying inside no more. I'm living my life to the fullest. That is pretty good prime real estate. So, we'll see how it goes, but I wouldn't take it at 25. 800 Ethereum maybe, because there's no utility for Ethereum really. So if I can buy 2 bars with it, I mean, right? Yeah.
Rashu said he's a noob. He would take 15, LOL.
Yeah.
Antonio said the bar owner knows where real money is at, but you have to be a fool to make this investment. No property in New York City will increase as much as Bitcoin in the next 10 years.
I didn't close. You're doing it for experiences if you buy this. You're buying it for experiences.
Properties not making income are liabilities. Crypto is less clunky and burdensome. Bitcoin for bar is bad trade, says CryptoQ. So yeah, everybody is like, Jamal J said, hell no.
Well, see, this is the twist. Let's say, all right, I'll get those 2 bars for 10 Bitcoin. What if I start accepting Bitcoin for payment there? What if I use Bitcoin as my public treasury for later, so that all the cash that I receive from those, I'm putting it back into Bitcoin, you probably get your 10 Bitcoin back. Or, there's other ways, but I don't want to discuss. I want to give away.
At the end of the day, this is face value, people. This is like the 4th time Bitcoin has pumped, right? Am I right? It's the 4th or 5th?
Mm-hmm.
So to say 4th time Bitcoin has pumped, people.
4th bull run, yeah.
This is the 4th bull run. There is literally no other investment in the United States. Even if we've just seen the top right now, which we may have. When you start talking about 1 Bitcoin for Teslas and 2 Bitcoins for a couple of bars in New York, you might see the top, right? But even when we see the top, when we go into a bear market for the next 2 or 3 years, you should be dollar cost averaging your buys. Again, you think it's not going to pump a 5th time.
Yeah, right. Over. Yeah, it's done.
How many times can you be wrong, right? It's one of those things. This is the future. When you're talking about large lumps of money, as someone already said, you shouldn't be looking into real estate, because you're going to be sick right now if you buy a house in the next 2 years, it devalues. You shouldn't be looking at golds or precious metals. We've seen that already. Bitcoins are outpacing them. And there's definitely not many things in the traditional stock market you can look at anywhere. So my thoughts right now are just like, what other investment besides Bitcoin and some of the crypto things long-term would you even look at? So that's where I stand on it.
True.
Call me Maximus. Other than that, you got any news for today?
No news for today. Clubhouse at 11. Join us in a few minutes. Black Bitcoin Billionaires, the Genesis block.
Oh, and shout out to all our subscribers. Make sure you smash that like and share. I was talking to Bitcoins the other day. We're starting to see videos with 91 likes, thumbs up, 70 here, 80 there. That's great. We never seen that before. So it's good to see. Make sure you smash that like and share again. We truly appreciate it. And we'll be back to you tomorrow.